In this video, I'm going to show you the simple way to change your backdrop to any color and how to add Snoot effects to take your images to the next level. Okay, let's do this. So first we need to separate our subject from our background so that we can add anything to the background or change the background without affecting our subject. So go to your tools here. On this icon, you can use the quick selection tool and do it manually, but I'm going to let Photoshop do it for me with the subject selection tool. So I'm going to click on this drop down menu and select cloud. This requires you to be connected to the internet and it's more accurate, but you can choose device if you do not have the internet. It will just do the entire process on your device. So from here, I'm just going to click on select subject. Photoshop will make a selection for me. So now I have a selection of my model. I'm going to hold shift on the keyboard, then go to select and choose select and mask. So this panel is going to pop up. Let me just move it here so that we can see what's happening. So here you can fine tune your selection, but Photoshop did a very good job with this photo. So if I want, I can just click OK. But before I do that, I'm just going to make sure the smart radius here is checked and then maybe add a little bit of the radius to maybe 0.2 is okay. I'm going to skip these settings and then change the output to new layer with layer mask here. If I want Photoshop to remember the settings, I can just tick this and then click OK. So now that I've separated my model from my background, I can do whatever I want to my background. Let me show you. I'll just enable the background layer by clicking on this box and then I'll select the background layer. So if I just want to change the color of the background, I can just go to the adjustment layer icon here and select hue in saturation. So this panel is going to pop up. Let me just put it here so that we can see what's happening. I'm just going to skip everything for now and click on colorize. If you want the colors to pop more, take the lightness slider down. For this image, I'll take it to -40. Take the saturation up. For this image, I'll take it to 100. And then I can change the color of my background to any color that I want using the hue slider. For this image, I'll take it to 180. And then from here, I can just maybe close this panel by clicking on this X icon here. So this is the before, this is the after, this is the before, this is the after. If you're like, no, I don't want this background, I just want to make my own background, do this instead. You can just disable this layer by clicking on this eyeball here and then go down and click this icon to add a new layer. And then from here, just go to edit, fill. This panel is going to pop up. Let me just move it here. Just left click on the content here and then select color. So this color picker panel is going to pop up. From here, you can select any color that you want here and then click OK and then click OK here. So now we have a solid color background. If you're not feeling this, you just want a gradient background, a background with different colors, not just one color. Do this instead. Just disable this layer here and go to the adjustment layer icon down here, left click on it and select gradient fill. So this panel is going to pop up. Let me just put it here so that we can see what's happening. Skip everything for now and click here to edit the gradient. And the gradient editor is going to pop up. So what you can do here, you can just try these gradients. And by the way, these gradients are built in Photoshop. I'll just click on this icon to open the folder. And then from here, I'll just go through these gradients and see which one works for this image. Or maybe let me try in the pink folder. Just open the folder here and then go through these gradients like this. Or if you're too creative, you're like, I don't like these gradients here, I want to make my own gradient. You can do that by just mapping your colors on this gradient here. Click on this icon and then click on the color here. And then from here, you can map any color that you want. Maybe you want this part here to be dark blue. You can just maybe select that color, or dark red, or maybe dark green. But I'm going to select maybe dark blue. And then I'm going to click OK here. On the bright part, this other part here, just click on this icon to activate this and then change the color here to any color that I want. Maybe I'm okay with this, so I can click OK here. On the style, if you want, you can change it from linear to radial. From radial maybe to angle, it's going to give you a different style. You can change it from angle to maybe reflected. If you change it from reflected to maybe diamond, it's going to give you a different style. And here you can change the angle of this effect. Maybe if you want, you can take it to 180 degrees. Maybe change it to angle. That's changed from 90 degrees to 180 degrees. If you want, you can just move it like that. You can just go crazy with it if you want. From here, you can just click OK here. So this is the before, this is the after, this is the before, this is the after. So now, let me show you how you can add the Snoot effect and take this photo to the next level. After downloading this Snoot effect, just drag it and drop it here, not here, and it's going to open as a new project. I'll put the link in the description so that you can download the Snoot effect file for free. So go to your tools and select the rectangular marquee tool. And then from here, you can select any of these Snoot effects. I'm going to select this one here. Just going to draw on it like this to select it. Just going to hold Ctrl or Command on the keyboard and press C to copy it like this. From here, I'm going to go to my image. So I'm going to disable this layer by clicking on this eyeball. And then I'm going to select the background layer here. And then I'm going to press Ctrl or Command V to paste my selection. It's behind my subject. So before I make any adjustments to this Snoot effect, I'm going to go on this same layer, left click, and select Convert to Smart Object. When I scale it, I don't want it to lose its quality. Also, whatever adjustments I'm going to make to this layer, if I decide to change those adjustments, I can just double click on the layer and make adjustments to this layer. That's the reason why I've converted this into a smart object. So I'm going to hold Ctrl or Command and press T on the keyboard to free transform it. So now I can expand it to any size that I want, or I can rotate it like this, and I can position it wherever I want. I can just click on this icon here or press enter on the keyboard. So from here, go to blend modes and select screen. So now I want it to look as realistic as possible. So I'm going to go to filter, blur, then I'm going to apply the Gaussian blur. I'll start at the lowest radius and then I'll increase it until it looks natural. I'm just going to take it maybe to 30%. I'm going to click OK. I'll just go to my tools here and select the move tool here. Just move it maybe somewhere here. If the effect is too much, I can just maybe change the opacity here to maybe 50%. This is the before, this is the after, this is the before, this is the after. If I want to add colors to this layer, I can just go to the adjustment layer icon here and select Hue in saturation. Just going to skip everything here for now and click on colorize here. From here, I can change the Snoot effect to any color that I want, like this. If I want the colors to pop, I can just go on saturation here and take it all the way to 100. And then I'll go through these colors here. If you've noticed, if I do the before and after, even the background is affected. If you don't want this effect to be on the background, you just want it on this Snoot effect, just click on this clipping mask here. So now, whatever you're going to do, it's just going to be applied to this Snoot effect and not the background. So before you add the Snoot effects or change the background, your retouching has to be clean. I made a full step-by-step video showing exact how I retouch the skin the professional way. So click here and watch that video next.